the C&G Thunder, aka the one-man band guitar. On the back, custom, handmade in China. Doubt it's handmade, but still. This thing is freaking cool, okay? One of my viewers, Keith Smith, reached out to me and said, hey, have you heard of the C&G one-man band guitar? And I was like, nope. So I checked it out. And I'm so glad I did, because I had no idea that something like this even existed. I mean, how cool is this guitar? I'm gonna tell you all about it here in just a second. I'm Dan, this is Guns & Guitars. Let's get started. As you can see, the C&G Thunder one-man band guitar is a Super Strat clone, okay? It's just, you know, HSS Strat, right? But it's so much more than that, okay? As you can see, I'm not plugged in right now, and you're like, so what? You know, we've had guitars with a built-in amp, built-in speaker for a long time now. What's so special about this one? Well, what's so special about this one is that you can add in some effects, okay? So, clean or dirty. Or, you know, you can mute it and tune it. That's right, you would have never known by looking at this thing that it has a built-in tuner, and I am a little bit out of tune, so let's go ahead and fix that. And I did check the tuner on this with the built-in tuner in Logic Pro, and all the strings were only off by 2 cents or less. So, very accurate tuner. You would never even know it's there. It's right here. It's got a little LCD display right here. You'd never know it's there if I didn't tell you about it just now. Wilkinson style 2-point tremolo. It's a nice heavy duty tremolo. Stays in tune fairly well. Of course, I have just the strings that came with it on it. And it's got, you know, a cheap plastic nut, cheap tuners. So I will say tuning stability on this thing is not the best, but I think if you put a decent set of strings on it and a decent nut, it would go a long ways. The tremolo also only came with 3 springs in it. So I think if you added a 4th or a 5th spring to it, that would actually go a long way to helping the tune stability as well. Well, let's get to the coolest feature about this thing. Yeah, built-in drum machine, right? So, let's turn up the volume on that drum machine a little bit so you can hear it better. It's kind of like a cool little lo-fi drum machine. And there's 40 different types of beats in there. Different time signatures. Right? Got a nice like 3/4, 6/8. That's kind of lame. Yeah. Some really funky, really nasty sounding drum beats in there. And of course you can adjust the tempo. So, really freaking cool. And then this button right here, this is your Bluetooth setting. Oh, Bluetooth, didn't tell you about that. Okay, so you can connect your phone if you've got some backing tracks you want to jam along with, or you know, you're practicing your worship tunes for Sunday service. You can connect your phone or MP3 player or whatever to this speaker and just jam along right with it. So not only is it an HSS Super Strat with a decent tremolo, it's also got a built-in amplifier and speaker, so you can jam wherever you want without having to bring an amp. Okay, it's got built-in effects, you don't have to bring those. Built-in Bluetooth, so you can jam along with your favorite tunes. And then My biggest concern with stuff like this is what kind of batteries does it take? Because then you gotta worry about always bringing batteries. Well, the cool thing about this is that it actually runs off of rechargeable lithium-ion batteries. You can see there's a little AC adapter port right there, so you can plug it in. It takes about 4 to 6 hours to get a full charge, but then you're good for weeks, okay? I've had this for 4 months, and I've charged it a total of 3 times, I think. What is this guitar good for? This is the best bedroom practice guitar I could possibly imagine. If you're a giggy musician, oftentimes when you get home, you don't want to like unpack your stuff before your next gig just so you can practice. So this is an awesome little tool. You can just leave it in the corner of your living room, and then whenever you want to pick up and jam, you don't have to worry about setting up your amp and cables and plugging in all your junk and then getting out your phone and putting on a drum beat or a metronome to practice to. It's got all that stuff built in. If you're thinking about doing some street performing stuff, you just want to go on a street corner and, just jam out, put a little suitcase out for, tips, this would be an amazing guitar. Again, because it's rechargeable, so just make sure it's charged before you go, and this is all you need. It's got the built-in effects, got the built-in speaker, built-in Bluetooth for your backing tracks. I can't think of a better tool. So that's why I'm so happy that this thing exists. But here's the coolest thing, you guys. This guitar only costs $250. That's right, $250. Okay, $250 just barely gets you a half decent Strat clone these days. So not only do you get that, but you get all of this built in with a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. And what a great little tool to have in your arsenal. This has just been a major game changer for my willingness, so to speak, to practice electric guitar. Okay, I've been playing a lot of acoustic guitar lately just because it sits in the corner and I don't have to plug it in, right? And I just don't want to go through the effort to get out an amp or get out my laptop and plug in my guitar and jam along and stuff like that. So I end up jamming on acoustic a lot. So I think it's amazing that you can have this and it's the same experience, except for you actually get to jam out with some sweet electric guitar riffs, You can... So, my fingers are freezing cold, so that was like the worst demo in the world, so apologize for that. Anyway, turn the speaker on or off, and the output jack, you can decide if you want to run these built-in effects and built-in amp simulation, or, you can turn it off, and then it's just, a regular guitar. So I'll go ahead and record some samples of that for you right now. Just on the neck pickup here, real quick, I'm going to demo for you just what this thing sounds like, just the guitar by itself. This is direct input, no amp simulation, nothing like that, without the internal amp and effects turned on. So, as you can see, nothing special, but it does work as, a normal guitar. Again, this is no amp simulation or anything. The reason why is because I'm going to turn on this internal preamp, and you'll notice that it does add a little bit of chorus, just a touch, and just a touch of reverb as well. And then if I turn on the effects, the distortion, you'll notice that it'll also add some of that delay, just a little bit. I wish there was a way to adjust the level of distortion and the level of delay, but it only has one setting. So here's the bridge pickup. So as you can see, it's not the best sounding guitar in and of itself. I mean, it sounds good for a $250 guitar. And then obviously, the built-in amp and built-in effects, I'm sure you guys have noticed in these recordings that I've made that, they are a bit cheesy, and they're not super adjustable, okay? Just turning on the amp automatically turns on just a little bit of chorus and a little bit of reverb, which that never hurt anybody, so I don't think that's a bad thing. But when you turn on the distortion, I mean, you really only have one setting of distortion, and it adds a little bit of delay. I would love to be able to control the level of distortion and control the level of delay, but honestly, that's asking a whole lot. This guitar already has so much to offer for the price, okay? Like I said, built-in amplifier, built-in speaker, built-in effects, just draw my pick. Built-in Bluetooth for, you know, jamming along with your favorite tunes. Built-in drum machine so that you've got a drummer with you everywhere you go. And just like a cool, like nasty lo-fi drummer too. I love the drum loops that are on this. They're super hip. And then, on top of that, rechargeable lithium-ion batteries. So, Keith Smith, I am so happy that you told me to check out this guitar, because it is just way too cool for YouTube land to not know about. I don't know why nobody else is reviewing this guitar. So I haven't seen a video on it anywhere. And I just think it's absolutely incredible. Now, this one has a white pearl pickguard and a black sparkle finish. I'm told by C&G that the next shipment of these that will be coming in will not have the sparkle glitter in the paint, which honestly I think is a good thing. I'm a super huge fan of glitter. But you know what? I think now I actually want to take this thing apart and see what all's inside. More importantly, I want to know, can I transplant the guts of this into another guitar? Because that'd be super cool. All right, let's take it apart and see what's inside. Now, if you're not into Stratocasters, they do offer this in, well, firstly, a standard Strat with a single coil in the bridge. And then they also offer a Telecaster style guitar, as well as a Les Paul style guitar. All C&G Thunder, all one-man band, all this built-in goodness right here. And just real quick before I tear this thing apart, I'm gonna give you, just a quick overview of the electronics. Obviously, you've got your 5-way selector switch, you've got your master volume and master tone, and then this turns your internal amp simulation on or off. So you can actually turn this on, and the guitar will play without the amp simulation. And then you can turn on the amp simulation, and then that adds, the little bit of chorus and reverb and just makes it sound more like an amp. And then you also have your built-in effects. That's this button right here. Right? And then you've got your built-in Bluetooth. You turn that on, it glows blue. And then this is your drum machine. And then this knob right here is your parameters for your drum machine. So you click it once and you can choose which beat you want. And then you click it again and you can choose the volume. Click it again and you can choose the tempo. And then if you hold this down, it will mute your guitar and turn on the built-in tuner right there. And I believe it is a chromatic tuner. It'll tell you whatever note you're on. So you can do, non-standard tunings with this as well. So built-in chromatic tuner. Like I said, it's plenty accurate within 2 cents of a pitch. And so, that's more than usable for a gig. Even some Stompbox pedal tuners are not that accurate. So pretty cool. All right. I am very excited to see what's underneath this pickguard and what's inside. And I don't know if this is going to be transferable to a different guitar, like a kick guitar. I would love to be able to install this in a hollow body. I think that'd be really cool. So let's take it apart and see what's inside. How does this all connect is the question. We're going to need to uninstall all of this. I see the speaker down in here. I see a ribbon wire, which I assumed I would see going up to the tuner. Let's go ahead and take out the tuner. So you can see this, gray ribbon wire is glued in place on the LCD display. So that's good. So that means it's nice and durable. It's not going to come apart, but well, that was easy. That glue just peels right off like it's hot glue or something. So there's our little LCD display. That came off surprisingly easy. All right, let's see what's behind door number 2. This appears to be some kind of preamp. I know behind this is going to be the speaker. Yep. So there's the speaker. And here, another board. Okay, static proof container. All right, so this is the main board. All right, so I just connected the ribbon for the tuner. And then all of these Those are all different style connections. I am going to take a picture of this just to make sure I put it back together properly. Because at the very least, if I can't install this in another guitar, I would like to be able to at least upgrade the pickups and maybe install some more effects and stuff in this thing. So installing this in another guitar is definitely doable. It's definitely going to take a lot of planning and routing. But that was my biggest thing, is I wanted to be able to do more with this. I know that CNG definitely does not have this in mind. I'm pretty sure they're expecting most people to never open up these compartments and see what's inside. But you know me, normal's boring. I can't leave anything normal. That thing looks like it might have been soldered in place. Nope, those are soldered in place. Okay, so I'll be honest. I expected this thing to have a lot less hand wiring in it. But a lot of this stuff is just, it's soldered together. I expected it to be a lot more plug-and-play stuff. All right, after taking a close look and tracing all the wiring, what I've realized is these are just standard pickups, nothing special about them. The brand is Pride, whatever that is. Obviously some probably cheap, I'm guessing made in China or made in Korea, generic brand pickups. Nothing special there. They just go to a standard 5-way selector switch, standard volume pot, standard tone pot. The tone pot has a push-pull switch on it, which, you know, I mentioned is for turning the internal speaker on and off. And so after the tone pot, it goes to this switch right here. And this is the one that turns on the onboard effects, the onboard amp simulation, which is, this is definitely the brains of the operation. And then there's that other piece in there that I couldn't get out. But this is a triple pull, quadruple throw switch. So there's some really complex wiring going on here to turn on the amp simulation and also have it feed this push-pull pot for the speaker, because you can turn the amp simulation on or off and still have the speaker on or off, independent of each other, which is cool. But yeah, there's some real complex wiring going on in there. I was sad to find out that the effects are all integrated. Okay, so the drum machine, the effects, all that stuff is all integrated, so it's not separate components that you can pull out and upgrade. Because I did want to get a better overdrive in there, and you know, something with more control, and then same with the delay, but those are integrated onto the board. So those aren't upgradable, but the pickups are certainly upgradable. Yes, you could install these guts in another guitar, but it's not going to be for the faint of heart. It would be quite the process, and I would be up for trying it, but I think what I'm going to do instead, since I really like this tremolo, I think the biggest thing for me is that I just need to upgrade the nut, upgrade the pickups, and, you know, give it a good fret leveling and polishing. And I'll probably just keep this as my go-to bedroom jam guitar as is for a while. And then maybe one of these days when I'm feeling really motivated, I'll probably go for taking this all the way apart. Because like I said, you know, some of it was plug and play, but a lot of it was hand wired. So I'm gonna have to desolder some of these connections and then resolder them together and then really plan out in whatever guitar that I'm gonna install this into. I really have to plan all these routes and everything, all these wire cavities and stuff, in order for that to work. So that will be a project for another day for sure. I'm not feeling that motivated right now. So for now, I think I'll probably just put this thing back together. Well, I'll probably upgrade the pickups before I put it back together. You know, I'll do all the stuff that I said I was going to do. So stay tuned. Maybe I'll do an update video on this with some new pickups and with a good setup and just show you what it's really capable of. But until then, I already think this is a spanking value of a guitar. This thing is awesome. I can't recommend it enough, I think, for $250. I mean, you get so much. Links down in the description for where you can find these for sale. The CNG website, as well as I think CNG has a reverb. So links in the description. Not affiliate links, not a sponsored video, just a really freaking cool guitar I wanted to show you. All right, I'm Dan, this is Guns and Guitars, and I will see you in that next video.